Thank you for joining us today. My name is Gail Watson, President and CEO of Women Speakers Association, the go-to place for innovative leaders, change agents, and women with a message to connect, collaborate, and grow their visibility worldwide in order to fulfill her mission. And as part of fulfilling her mission, we are super excited to introduce you to Voices of the 21st Century, a book featuring a collection of female voices rising up to educate, guide, and inspire. And here with us today is our featured author, Johnnie Lloyd, a bold, brave, and brilliant woman who shares her powerful story. So welcome to the show, Johnnie.
Thank you so much, Gail. It's great to be here today.
It's great having you. So just before we dive into your story, I really enjoy it. And I'd like to, why don't we give our listeners just a little bit of insight? Like, first of all, what attracted you to share your voice and be a voice of the 21st century?
That's a great question. What ended up happening is I had just worked on a book, my own book, and it's called, and I have a copy, it's called Legacy Moments, Transformation That Goes Beyond Change. And what happened during this season is through this book caused me to open myself up and be a little bit more, I'm going to say honest with myself about my past and what my past meant to me and how my past has pushed me forward in so many areas of my life, and how transformation is so much different than change, because once you transform, you can't go back. So that's what this book is about. And that's how and what happened to me that opened me up for this opportunity to even be aware of myself in such a way that I can move forward and be a little bit more relevant and a little bit more honest in who I am and the power that's within me as a woman, as a speaker, as an author, and a coach. So this has been powerful. And the other thing is, being a part of WSA has actually changed my life. It is an area where women are being very authentic and they're very embracing and helpful. So all of these things together has caused me to be a part of this great work, and I'm excited about it.
Well, thank you so much. And I love that because you really tackle transformation and really embrace that. And what I'd love to know is let's dive a little bit deeper into your life and how your story, how it's impacted you today. I mean, where are you at today because of it?
Wow. What has happened in my story is what I reach for is this. What I reached for is to go back, because what happens is our backstory, everything that we have been through personally, professionally, spiritually, emotionally, and physically has caused us to be who we are today. And we choose what direction we go in once we come to the realization of our deeper self. And that's what has driven me in this book. I mean, there's two words that comes up for me. One of them is a distractor, and distractions, what distractions do is they take you off course, but you can get back on. And then you have other things that are disruptive in our life. And this that happened to me in my backstory was actually something that was so powerful and so life-changing that it became disruptive. And when I say disruptive, it's like hitting a brick wall. And when you hit that brick wall, you choose at that point whether to move forward. And this situation, being homeless and some other things that happened to me that were major, caused me to look at my life and make a choice as to what decisions I was going to make and who I was internally. Who was I created to be? Not just externally, because a lot of us look at life and look at ourselves from an external perspective, but really the real power is to look how your backstory has caused you to be who you are and push who you are forward.
I love that because you really have garnered strength from, some pretty heavy tough times.
Yeah.
And there's no sweet word for them. You know, they were tough times. And and it's difficult because there are some people out there, including yourself, sometimes we're dealt some really hard hands to manage. And I love that you're inspiring and you're sharing that other side of how you've literally come through, turned things around into a positive, right? So what do you expect a reader to take away from reading your story? What do you want her to take away?
Well, I would want them to take away their power, to look at what they have in their hand and to garner power from it. Because if we don't take back our power, that means someone else has it. And if someone else has it, that means they're in control. And I trust me more than I trust them. So I would rather be in control of my story and my situation. So what I would enjoy and cause people to do is to look at their past as something that's behind them. And not saying it's not important, but saying that it is your past. And looking in the rearview mirror can never allow you to move forward. So that's what I want the readers to take away from the story, is to go forward, to encourage them, to look at the fact that there is always hope. Because if you're breathing, you have an opportunity to take your control back and also walk in a place of hope, because you have the power to make the change, to make your life anything you desire it to be. Yes, it's work. I'm not going to leave that and make it seem like it's easy, but it is worth it, because there's people that are depending on us to be the best we can be in this moment. And that's the takeaway. The takeaway is to be the best they can be in the moment.
Those are very powerful takeaways. Very powerful. I want to ask you, is there, just as we're concluding our chat right now, is there any final words you'd like to leave anyone out there? Maybe there's a woman who is experiencing some traumatic times in her own life right now that feels very connected to your words and maybe thinking, I don't know if I could do that. I don't know if I could be as strong as Johnnie with what she's saying. What do you say to her?
Wow. That's deep, because sitting on this side of it, it looks really easy. However, when you're going through it, the pain, the pressure, however, you have to look toward the purpose. So what I would encourage them to do is go move toward purpose. To not look at other people to determine what your life is supposed to be like, but to actually look internally and figure out who you are and find power in that. And then no matter what the situation is, don't judge yourself and don't look at yourself as a place of shame or rejection. Because no matter what you go through, no matter what you go through as an individual, whether it's professionally or privately, it does not matter, because all of us have something in our backstory that sometimes we don't even share with other people because we don't think it's powerful enough to share. But I want to encourage you to go through it and then share it with someone else to give them hope. Go through it and look back at it and smile and laugh at it as you move forward. To don't stop where you are, to not give up, but to move forward in hope, knowing that there's better days ahead. That would be what I would tell her. And the quote that I sometimes use is, and I love it, it says, where your focus goes, your power flows. So if you focus on what's behind you, if you focus only on the pain, but you don't see a promise, then you'll stay there. And then all your energy will go there. However, if you focus on your future, if you focus on your destiny, if you focus on your purpose, not if, let's say when. When you do those things, then what ends up happening is your power and your energy will go in that direction, and daily you'll become better.
Johnnie, you are a bright, shiny light
Oh,
for this world. I'm serious. As much as I don't want to say I'm grateful. I'm grateful that you went through what you went through, because it has truly gifted you with this unique message. And I know there's
thank you.
and just as I was listening to you speak, I couldn't help but feel what an amazing gift your story would be to somebody right now. That and I would like to put this out to our listeners right now. If you know of someone in your life or a colleague that you're working with, that or a friend of a friend who's in that very lonely spot and feeling like her voice doesn't matter, just like you did, Johnnie, right? I think your story would be one of the most amazing gifts to give that person in support. So, Johnnie, would you be willing, if somebody reached out to you to say, hey, you know what? I want to give this book and your story in particular to a person. Would you be willing to write a personal message in it?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Because I think the personalized messages, when you give something like that to someone, changes and impacts their world. It impacts their life and it encourages them. So when you see someone who's been through something and you know that they can be impacted by our stories, by all means, I would love to write a special note for that person.
You're wonderful. And so where do we get in touch with you? How do we get this book?
Okay, the best place to get a hold of me to tap out is www.Johnnie, JOHNNIE, Lloyd, LLOYD.com. That's JohnnieLloyd.com. And when you reach out to me, don't hesitate to do it through social media. You'll see my Facebook, my Twitter, and my YouTube channels are connected to that. And always reach out and let me know what you're thinking, because I care about the people and I care about you.
Oh, you are wonderful. You know what? Thank you. And thank you for, I know it took a lot of courage to step forward and really put out this story and to be vulnerable about it. It's like you said, there's a lot of different types of feelings, emotions attached to it, shame, guilt. And I mean, you are truly a demonstration of someone, person who is owning her voice and my life, and I'm moving forward. I love it. I love it.
Thank you.
Okay,
Thank you, Jill. I appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Well, you're very much appreciated. And I'm so happy you're a voice of the 21st century. This is what our world needs, is someone like you. So thank you for your time today. And also to our listeners, thank you for your time in joining our show today. And please join us again next time and hear from another amazing woman share her powerful stories, here to inspire you. So thank you again for joining us.